We are live.
It's so dark. With the lighting? Oh.
In the city of... Check. Trying to get some... Get us all situated. Here we go. Monday. Great sports weekend. Oh, we lost him. We'll get him back. Hope everybody had a great weekend. People are starting to come in. Hi, Chanel. Hey, D. Kasem, what's up? Hello. Brock, we're working on the lighting situation. We'll get this settled nice and quick. Is the audio coming in okay? We think it's coming in nice, but
Is that better?
that would be my question. Yeah, it's a little better, actually.
Maybe
A little brighter.
The camera's a little dark, but it works.
We hear ya. Thank you, D. Thank you, Chanel. Nice and clear. Woo! Love it.
Howdy.
All right. We some great sports updates today. We wanted to talk about some really cool stories as we start the NFL season and get back into the groove of things. We're very excited about Brock and I are big sports fans, as you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. There's a really good UFC fight this weekend. Some great football games, some interesting stuff happening in baseball. So we're going to kind of dive in a little bit and see what we can muster up for y'all.
Let's make sure you're totally in frame. Okay, good.
I think the picture was cut out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I think that's cool.
All right.
And see a little bit of the studio light in the background.
A little BTS. Penny is great. Thank you, D. She had a great weekend. Took her to the park. She had fun. She's right here. She's roaming around, making sure we're safe. Hi, Penny. Yeah, I mean, we might as well start with this crazy UFC fight, right? I mean,
yeah,
we had it on with the Joe Rogan companion, which was kind of cool because if Joe's not there announcing the fight, he'll do like a live on his YouTube and kind of like announce it with friends casually. Kind of prefer that where, you're not like putting on this persona as like an announcer, which all announcers do. And that's just the name of the game. No fault to them. But it's like in a more casual environment, like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning do it for Monday Night Football on ESPN2, where they're just kind of like having normal conversations with people. I kind of prefer that. But anyway, that's kind of how we watched it. And it was Sean Strickland against Israel Adensanya, and Israel came in as the middleweight champion. I think he had two... maybe this was like his first defense of the title of the belt, but he's one of the best strikers in UFC history. Incredibly talented guy. And Sean came in as I think it was like minus 600 underdog, like ranked 5th. And just from the moment the fight started, he had him pinned against the cage. Israel started off with some kicks and some jabs, and he could never really get anything in. And Sean just had complete control of the fight. There was that takedown early.
Yeah.
And he couldn't really finish him off there. The round ended, but
where he knocked him knocked him to the ground and got his back, but he got out of it. Which was literally, I mean, I saw that going viral around the internet a little bit, and it almost looked like a finisher. So he really had his hands, his work cut out for him on that one. But that was a very good fight, unexpected fight with Strickland to take the win.
And just his face afterwards.
Yeah.
It was just nothing. It was like totally clean.
Yeah. You could see it in the 5th round with Israel that his face was starting to show a bit of the work that was getting done to it. And he seems like a really cool guy from all the stuff I've seen of him and the stuff that he said out publicly, even after fights and everything too. But he seems like a really good dude, and he's an extremely talented fighter. So a bit of an upset. The other guy, Strickland, I've been seeing some. This guy likes to talk some smack.
Does he really?
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of podcasts, and it could be, like maybe it is who he is, which is, nothing wrong with that. But it could also be like a tactic to, like the Conor McGregor, get out there and make some controversy and get your name out there and grow it up. It's how you blow up. This gets people watching, so it's definitely entertaining at the very least.
Right.
But yeah, he's just like talking smack on everyone. The normal day man, basically. I saw him in the Milk Boys podcast. He was like calling this guy out. He just basically wanted to smack him because he looked chubby.
Oh god.
just not masculine to him. I'm like, all right, bro. And the other guy's like, he's like, I don't want to do that to you. Like, he's like, I thought it would be fun to go out for a beer with you or something.
Oh my god.
It's just funny. So it's been interesting to watch those guys, but good on him to win that. That's a big one in the middleweight division, right?
Really big. He's the new middleweight champion. He won all 3 judges, scored it 46-49 in Strickland's favor, unanimous decision. Great fight. And yeah, Strickland was just perfectly clean afterwards. Israel couldn't land anything. That was like the shocking part, is like Israel is so talented. And, Strickland just basically dominated in terms of him not landing anything and all that. Okay. So congrats to Strickland. I'm sure they'll do a rematch. I'm sure, they might do a fight in between and then schedule something. Okay, here's a cool story. 2 father-son stories coming up. The first one, as a USC Trojan, I love to see this, and as a 49er fan. So Jerry Rice's son, Brenden Rice, is a USC wide receiver, and he has 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. And USC is 3-0 now, and he's playing amazing. And, he had a great 75-yard touchdown in this last game. Who were we playing? Stanford. We beat Stanford like 50. What was the final score? 56-10. My pops went to Stanford, so that one's always a family bowl between us. But yeah, what do you think of Brenden and Jerry Rice's son and what he's doing? I mean, you're a 49er fan too.
Yeah, I was always a fan of Jerry Rice, man. He was so incredible on the field and what he could do and his speed, and it was just amazing. So, and as a 49 fan, pretty cool to see the legacy pass on to the son. He's obviously showing up and showing out, and he's got, like you said, 1 touchdown in every game so far. Hopefully, he keeps that going throughout the season and keeps performing. So, I would say it's cool to see that. It's cool when those are big shoes to step into.
The biggest, right?
Yeah, and to be as athletic in one way or another as your father, and to make a splash, is really cool. So, because it could go the other way, it could go that, he's doesn't have anywhere near the talent that his father did, or the work ethic, or the mindset, or anything like that. And it's evident that, he's got all the right tools to go the distance.
And maybe the media is not as friendly and you're not getting as much coverage, right?
Yeah.
It's a good point.
So pretty cool to see that.
So fight on. Let's see if anyone has any Oh, thank you, D. I'm trying. We all know Brock has a great one, so I'm just trying to keep up with him. Go Seahawks! Oh, boo. No, Pete Carroll. He's a great coach.
D says no, you're a Niner fan.
Oh yeah, for sure. Grew up, born and raised in San Francisco. I got the Giants, got the Niners.
What's my
Oh no,
second
both
one?
of you. Yeah, we got NorCal in our blood.
Yeah, I was born up north and grew up Mormon. So we had Steve Young. What did he have?
Oh,
8
yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, number 8.
Yeah.
He at a couple, at least a couple.
Yeah. But yeah, I grew up with that, and
98, I want to say 97. Well, you had Montana run the 80s, and then Young run the 90s, basically.
Yeah, and that's when we were born. So
yeah.
Let me see how many.
What a great story. I'll be watching, obviously, USC's games, regardless. But now you have Brenden Rice to root for, and Caleb Williams. He looked absolutely incredible. He looked unstoppable. Him and Lincoln Riley, coming over from Oklahoma. We look really, really good. USC Boulder this year is going to be incredible. Perfect segue into our next story, ladies and gentlemen. Another father and son story. Deon Sanders, primetime 99. Oh no, that's someone else. Primetime Deon Sanders is the head coach at Boulder, Colorado, and his son is the quarterback, and he is absolutely crushing it. They're 3-0 or 2-0 now. They beat TCU 45-42 in the first game of the season. I believe TCU was in the finals in the championship last year, and they beat them. They upset them in Texas, in TCU. Crazy to think you have another Hall of Famer from that 49er team with his son.
Yeah.
So you have, and they're going to play each other. One a quarterback, one a wide receiver, so they won't play against each other. But, it's insane.
Yeah.
That's how good that 49er team was. Is even their kids are dominating right now.
Yeah, it's a generation. It's finally caught up. That's pretty cool. Just to top off the Young thing, it was 3. I believe it was 3.
Perfect.
And he won 2 back-to-back, so 94, 95 he won.
There we go.
That's what it was.
I'm glad we clarified that, because what 49er fans would we be if we did?
Thank you, Google.
Yeah. We knew it was in
there. It's been 20 years, guy. 30 years, 20 plus years. So, but yeah, that's sick about, Brenden Rice and Deon Sanders' son, Pac-12, 17-0. Yeah, dang.
Yeah, Pac-12 started the season 17-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. And then I think the first loss was Stanford officially when we beat them, but
dang. I was looking up those stats. They're pretty dang impressive what he's doing over there.
I think it's let me look something up real quick.
I need to stop commenting. I will just listen now. It's going to be hard for me to listen when Niners fans.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders had 510 yards with 4 touchdowns in the opener.
Yeah. My uncle's in here, and he said the apple never falls far from the tree, but I have to disagree with that because I'm about as far away from the apple of our tree as I can be, my man.
Oh, no way. That your uncle's in the chat?
But yeah, he's in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. My goal is to be the opposite of my dad, not anything like him. So,
for sure.
Just want to clarify that. But also Niners fan, so I have to say you have to agree with that.
You are definitely a unique soul in the best way.
Oh, thanks, bud.
It's true.
It's so funny because most of these things, it's funny because the main highlights that weren't even intended to be, like Jerry Rice and Deon Sanders, the Niners, and then the next thing that I'm seeing is Purdy on the line.
Oh, for sure. So there's a football player for the 49ers, and his name happens to be Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
And the easy way to remember that is Brock is Purdy.
He throws Purdy, that's for sure.
Oh my God. So he's the first quarterback in his first 6 official regular season starts to have 2+ touchdowns in his first 6 starts and a 95 passer rating or above.
Yeah.
In those first 6 games.
Yeah.
So he is on fuego is an understatement.
Yeah. And what was he when he started? Was third string?
Yeah, he was behind Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, and they both got hurt.
Yep. And then he came in like a
thunderbolt.
Yeah, he was just wrecking, and then got was it injured towards the end of the season, right?
So he on the first drive of the Philly game for the 49ers against Philly in the playoffs, first drive, tore his UCL. Donezo. And then they we had our 4th string quarterback in because no one else could play, and we just got ran through. And it was obviously made you appreciate how good he was and actually how much he was making a difference.
Yeah.
But no defense, no offensive players can make up for just a terrible quarterback or no quarterback. We ran every play, so they knew we were going to. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. That was a bad day. That was a bad day. He's back and he's healthy.
Yep. And he's crushing it. So it could be a very interesting season for the Niners.
Yeah, McCaffrey had a big 60-yard TD run. Kittle had a quiet game. He's on my fantasy team. But Kittle will get his. He just needs time. Brandon Aiyuk from ASU, our wide receiver, he took all the touchdowns basically.
Mm-hmm.
He had all of them.
Are you talking about in fantasy?
Well, both.
Yeah, well, obviously. But.
Yeah. He had 2 touchdowns, bunch of yards. And then our defense was on fire too. Fred Warner, Hufanga, Nick Bosa just signed a huge deal. What was the details of the Nick Bosa deal again?
I think it was 175 mil for 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Something close to that.
Yeah.
What was it, 50 mil signing bonus? And then
yeah. Congrats to Nick on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind those numbers in my account.
Dude. Not too shabby.
5 years locked in. Should have played football.
For chasing quarterbacks, baby.
Here I am being an actor.
Nah, but
no, it's awesome. There's so who's D a fan of? I missed it on here. Did you say Saints?
Oh, on the chat?
Yeah.
Brock is Purdy. D likes it. No, don't be mad.
I was just trying to see, outside of Niners, were there any games you watched that stood out to you?
Oh, for football?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Cowboys just annihilated the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football, the primetime game.
They closed them out. Was it 40?
Oh my God, dude! It was 40-0 or something crazy like that. Is that am I right?
Yeah, I feel like I saw something where it was the biggest closeout in 20, I don't know how many years, massive, it was the highest point closeout in the starting.
Right.
In 20 years. I don't know, something crazy.
I'm sure there's tons of stuff dude, they had 7 sacks and 11 hurries, Micah Parsons, obviously. Their Cowboys defense is for real. They are legit. But Giants aren't exactly the best team. Sorry if there's any Giants fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Cowboys, they'll get to the playoffs. Can Dak Prescott perform in the playoffs? It always comes down to that. Even the Niners, we had the best defense ever. Colin Kaepernick couldn't win us the Super Bowl. He had the ball on the 15-yard line in Ravens territory, can't close it out. Jimmy Garoppolo throws interception against the Chiefs. Like, the quarterback can win or lose every game for you. No matter how good your defense is, you need a quarterback. Like, that is the 49ers legacy in a nutshell. When we have a quarterback, we win. I've lost so many Super Bowls in the last decade or two because our quarterback wasn't up to par. Jimmy G, great guy, cool, whatever, can't win a Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick, same thing. He had great playoffs, couldn't win a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy, I believe he can. I believe he can. And I think the 49ers are going to be dirty this year.
I just feel like he has superior passing compared to those guys, like he just really knows how to get it done. I mean, like you said, 95% or higher passer rating. Like that's I mean, that's all A's, baby.
Yeah.
That's you can't really beat that, and he's going to close all the gaps and they're going to be scoring and, getting yards and completions on a regular basis to where you're just not going to be able to compete with that as long as the offense and even their defense does a decent job. They're not going to be able to get stopped.
You have Christian McCaffrey, one of the best. He had the best weekend as a running back. He had 151 yards, even more receiving.
Wow.
Like, all these touchdowns. Like, you have the best running back. You have the best tight end. You have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk. Like, Kyle Juszczyk, Kyle said that so wrong. Our fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. Like, we are all pro at every position on offense and defense. Anyway, enough Niner gloating. But yeah, we're fired up. I got Niners defense and Kittle on my fantasy team. I won my first fantasy football. You guys will be hearing a lot about my fantasy team, and I'm 1-0. Just brief updates, nothing too crazy. Another crazy story was Deshaun Watson is back. He had a bunch of controversy. He had some injuries. I think he missed a year, and he came back looking like he played really well. I don't know. I still don't really know, like, if he's in trouble or not or what's going on, but he played, so interesting, keeping an eye on that. And then Damar Hamlin, we all remember Damar Hamlin on Buffalo.
Tell them what happened really briefly.
No, of course. So Damar Hamlin was the defensive player who got hit really awkwardly and hard in a football game last year, and the entire game stopped, and they suspended the game or canceled the game because they never replayed it. Very scary moment, and rushed immediately to the hospital. He was unconscious, and thank God he recovered. He's alive. He's good. It was a cardiac arrest, I believe, is the official verbiage they used to classify that injury, but thank God he's doing okay, and might even play football again this year. The news report said he's not suiting up tonight for Buffalo, but even having an option, right? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I think one, it's good that it sounds like he's in good health and, he's still out there with the team, but he should, in my opinion, just play it safe, especially after something like that. It's a big scare that the whole world, for the most part saw. And I think your health is most important at the end of the day. So as long as he's taken care of and they're taking all the right safety precautions and making sure he's as healthy as possible, at the end of the day, he's an athlete and I'm sure he loves the game of football, obviously. So I can imagine it's one of those things where, do you hold yourself back and is that for good reason? Or do you say, for love of the game, man, and go do it. So I don't know. Yeah. I think for me, it's just what's the safest, smartest route, and kind of go that way. But it's tricky when your career and your passion is, you know, that game. So I'm just hoping and praying that, you know, I hope and pray he gets to play and he does well and is healthy and has a great season. But at the same time, you know, as long as he stays healthy.
Well said. Well said.
You pop in a couple comments real quick. No Saints news. I did not watch the Saints game. I'm sorry.
Our boy Brandon's playing. I'm going to check how he did.
Brandon Cooks. We had him on the episode. If you guys didn't get to, or on the podcast, I don't know the number of the podcast, but it was a great episode. And he was talking about being a pilot as well. He's known as the Archer online. And it's cool seeing him updates since we had him on of him flying his plane, and really, really great, talented dude.
He's flying now too.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
I've seen some, I don't know if he got a plane or not, but I've been seeing some videos of him flying. It's really cool.
So he's on the Cowboys. He's on that Cowboy team. Yeah. So he was a part of that domination. That's good. We're rooting for Brandon. Brandon's a great guy. You guys should go check out that episode if you haven't, but great dude. Loves traveling, loves photography, piloting.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
Have we had any other NFL players on?
No.
We should get a couple more.
Yeah. A lot of golf. Lot of golf.
We should get Phelps on at some point.
Phelpsy.
There's a bunch of really cool people we could have on.
Okay. So I was going to say quick entertainment intro or quick entertainment thing. We watched the Walking Dead Daryl spinoff last night, and I think it comes out Mondays, but it was available last night, or I'm not sure. But if you like Walking Dead, one, go check out our podcast we did on The Walking Dead. And two, this is the best spinoff I've seen of The Walking Dead so far. You never know how it's going to go, but the pilot episode was, good. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. He ends up overseas in France, and it gets a little crazy over there.
Spoilers. No, that's in the trailer.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything more.
I'm just messing with you.
No, but other than outside of that, it's like it's a great first episode. It's definitely entertaining, and you get a lot of Daryl, which is one of my favorite characters in the show, and it's got a great story arc. So I mean, they nailed it with that one. I didn't really see anything I didn't really like as far as sticking to the close to the franchise, and then giving you a bunch of what you wanted, really.
Brock made a really good point too about heroes in shows that are kind of mysterious, right? Like if you can, because Daryl doesn't have like tons of dialogue, right? Same with Walking Dead. He does a lot with a little. And Brock was talking about that, and I'm like, that's a really good point, because you never know if a protagonist is gonna, what's the protagonist like? Like, does he talk a lot? Does he talk a little? Does she talk a lot? Does she talk a little? But I think they do a really good job with that character. And I think it's tons of credit to Norman Reedus, right?
Yeah.
The actor.
He's one of those people that are just cool doing nothing. He could just sit there and it's interesting.
Right.
Sometimes it's more interesting to just watch somebody sit in solidarity, and just seems like he's always got a lot going on internally and doesn't express it outwardly with words. But that really comes across great on camera and as his character in The Walking Dead. So it's everything I've seen of him, like his motorcycle show, outside of The Walking Dead, and any interviews, or I just saw some with him and Keanu.
Oh wow.
Just talking, and he always just seems like such a cool dude. So those are the people I like to watch too. It reminds me of kind of like the older classic leading males. That
Arnold.
Arnold's definitely one of them. Almost more like I wouldn't compare it to like Marlon
Kurt
Brando,
Russell.
but like Kurt Russell, yeah, is a good one. Yeah, more like in that realm,
Yeah.
of just like cool dudes. We like watching cool dudes.
Charlie Bronson.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was looking at Chanel, said happy sports Monday. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, Chanel, super chat. What's up?
Chanel's the best.
Rose said we all are awesome. I totally agree. Everyone in the chat is awesome.
Yeah. Anybody who's in here is awesome.
Awesome blossom.
Will, is the second part of the interview with Stedman going to be this week?
Oh, yes. I believe Thursday. I believe. If Spencer doesn't have it ready, we should all email him and say, Spencer, WTF. But no, we actually have a lot we're working on. We have like a fun YouTube video coming that's more of just a YouTube video and less of like a podcast. We're taking a stab at comedy. But it's a very, very serious episode. Very serious. But yeah, we're gonna start making just tons of different types of content. But yeah, Stedman should be this week. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
And then D said, "Do we watch Leverage?"
I haven't heard of Leverage.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, what's it streaming on? D. Not.
Oh, by the way, so Mike. Oh, I was gonna say. Speaking of, so Paul Pogba. I'm a French soccer fan. That's my team. I was a Thierry Henry fan. Now I'm a Kylian Mbappe fan. They had the best World Cup game ever against Argentina. It was Lionel Messi against Kylian Mbappe, and Argentina unfortunately won. But good for Messi. We like Messi. And Messi is about to retire, and Mbappe has his whole career to win another. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And Mbappe has a title, and Messi didn't have a title, so it was kind of like the older legend getting his title before he retires, while the younger legend is still out there. But Paul Pogba, he plays on Juventus. Juventus is an Italian team, club team. He plays for France International in Juventus club. And he tested positive for testosterone, risks a 4-year ban. You don't see that a lot in soccer. They call Pogba the human spider. Great player, great midfielder. But yeah, interesting story there.
There was another story that came out. I saw. I forgot. Maybe I was listening to his podcast, and they were talking about how this woman, who was I believe, collegiate athlete, like a sprinter, maybe in the Olympics or something like that, and she just had naturally higher testosterone, and they came up with some rule that she couldn't run because her testosterone levels were higher than other women's naturally, not even taking supplements. So
really?
Yeah. So there's it's these funny rules of like, what if he just has naturally higher testosterone than other people?
Right.
Or it could also just be that maybe he was taking stuff, but yeah, you don't really think about that in soccer. You don't hear that too often. It's more of like, because it's not as much. It is very much a endurance sport, cardiovascular, and you have to be very physical and great shape, obviously. But you're not head-to-head combat with like football or hockey or.
Well, Lionel Messi took a bunch of HGH, but he actually had like a growth defect, so he needed it
to make him normal levels.
Yeah. But I don't know all the health details there. I don't want to accidentally insult him or anything, but I think it was something like that. Not that that would be an insult, but yeah, I think they had like an exception for that because he had a growth defect.
That guy's a boss.
I mean, he's amazing.
They just played out here, right?
Yeah, I think they did.
Was that SoFi? Do they play soccer at SoFi?
I believe so. And then we talked about the Cowboys crushing the Giants.
What was I don't want to say his name wrong, but the baseball player threw a no hitter.
Oh yeah, Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
There's a Japanese pitcher, Yamamoto, right now, 24 years old. He pitched his second no hitter. Good memory. And there were Yankee scouts there, and he pitched for Japan in the World Baseball Classic. I believe he was 2-0 or 1-0, with like a 2.7 ERA. But another up and coming pitcher to watch out for, and our buddy Robby Massar, who we have a podcast with. Tell him about Robby.
Robby is a lawyer, was a baseball player beforehand, then became a baseball scout, and he's one of our great friends and very intelligent, very positive human being, and it shows in the podcast. It just great mindset stuff. But yeah, I mean, he would, if he was still doing what he was doing, right, he'd be out there scouting Yamamoto and people like that on a regular basis. He's just a true great person. I don't even know how else to word it other than that. He just is
scholar
awesome.
and a gentleman and a scholar.
Exactly. And yeah, very intelligent, and just I recommend watching that podcast because I really thoroughly enjoyed even doing that one with him. So Robby Massar.
Speaking of scouts for the Yankees.
Yeah, buddy.
But yeah, those were kind of like our favorite sports stories from the weekend, and thought we wanted to talk about, and then the Daryl thing.
I did want to mention, I know we both wanted to mention that it's 9/11 and in memorial of everyone who lost their life. And I mean, it's still to this day, it just doesn't feel real. Like I know just like everyone else remembers exactly where they were when it happened. And I remember in the classroom, my teacher just freaked out and, turned on the TV, just stopped class completely, turned it on for us to watch it. And then it's surreal, the feeling of what was happening while it was happening. And I saw something today. They're still identifying. There's like 2,000 bodies that are still haven't been identified, and they just started with more advanced DNA technology. They identified 2 bodies. I think it was a husband and a wife today, and so maybe they'll be able to help identify more people moving forward. But I just think, like, what has it been? 22 years, I think. I could be wrong, but I believe it's that. And it's just such a tragic, horrible, horrendous event that happened. But
22 years,
yeah, we just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge that and bring light to that. And I'm grateful for the lives we have and the people who have sacrificed. And I hope that something like that never happens again.
I woke up watching the news with my mom, and we were the only private school in San Francisco to still have school that day. And none of our main head, what do they call it?
Headmaster?
Oh no, like a homeroom teacher, like the main class was from New York.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, there's no effing way we're doing anything today. Like, we're going to talk about our families, what we love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to be here, but we're not doing it. Like, this is crazy. And yeah, the emergency responders, the first responders, like, they're true heroes. And, never forget that day for sure. A lot of American lives lost. God bless the military. God bless the first responders, for sure.
God bless all the families that were affected. Yeah. But
day of reflection. Yeah, Robin, it's a tough one.
Yeah. And on another note, it is my a much lighter note, my nephew's birthday today. So
Oh,
I'm gonna go spend some time with him today and
get your mind off it.
yeah, go cheer him up. Go make sure he has a great day.
That sounds great. That'll be a good way to spend the day. God bless America, Teresa. Appreciate that 100%. Happy birthday to the nephew. Well, let's get Brock out of here so we can go to that birthday party, and appreciate everyone coming on, and football's back, which is great. And hope everyone has a great week.
Yeah, we got a Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Who's playing tonight?
Buffalo and Buffalo.
a little bit of Buffalo tonight.
Some Buffalo and someone.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I know we kind of surprised you with the live, so we're grateful you came in. Chanel, thank you so much for the super chat. You're always so supportive of us and the podcast and Kane and just everything, really. So always want to say thank you to everyone as well. We appreciate you and we're grateful for you. And thanks for all the comments and questions. And we'll be seeing you soon. Have a great rest of your day.